Welcome back to the Samantha Marie podcast, where we talk about everything mental, spiritual, and physical wellness. And today we're going to talk about 4 best practices that will help you create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. And specifically, we're going to talk about weight management and some things that have worked for me over the years. But before we jump into it, I just want to remind you, if you don't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. That's where you can keep up with everything that's going on with the show. And just a reminder, we're on YouTube. You can watch every episode there, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. And also, if you listen to the Samantha Marie podcast on Apple or Spotify, if you could rate the show, if you could write a review, that would mean so much to me. And also, if you know that this episode or this show in general would help or would encourage anyone that you know, any friends, family, make sure to share this with them as well. So if you guys have been listening to my show for a minute, you would know that I am not a fan of diets. I am a fan of creating a healthy lifestyle that is made up of different habits and a bunch of little habits that we create over time that lead to a sustainable, healthy lifestyle that will last for the long term. Okay. And I actually looked up on Copilot why most diets don't work long term, because I really just want to nail this home for everyone listening. Okay. So UCLA meta-analysis, they came out with a study that said researchers analyzed 31 long-term diet studies and found that most people regained all the weight they lost and often more. Sustained weight loss was rare, and many participants would have been better off not dieting at all due to the physical and emotional toll of weight cycling. Dieting was even found to be a predictor of future weight gain. Isn't that wild? And then Ohio State study put out that about 95% of dieters regained the weight within 2 years. Dieting triggers survival mechanisms, slower metabolism, and increased hunger hormones. These biological responses can lead to binge eating, lower self-worth, and ultimately higher weight gain than before. And then the BMJ International study says a review of 121 trials with nearly 22,000 participants showed that most diets lead to short-term weight loss and improved blood pressure, but these benefits disappear after 1 year. More than 80% of lost weight was regained within 5 years. So really what I'm trying to drill in on is that diets don't work. What we need to do is create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle of balance. And that is the key to our overall health, to our overall well-being, and even weight management. And so today I really want to focus on 4 best practices that I've incorporated into my life that have lasted years, that I haven't wavered from. And they've been a key component in maintaining my weight at a healthy weight and a weight that I feel comfortable at. And again, these practices have lasted for years, and I know that they have had a great impact on my health. And today, yes, we're focusing on weight management, but my focus is always that, listen, our physical health, our body impacts every area of our life. It impacts our spirituality. It impacts our mental health. It impacts our overall well-being and happiness. It even impacts our productivity, our work, our finances. Like, it impacts everything. So yes, we're focusing on weight management, but really it's creating a lifestyle that enables us to love our body, feel comfortable in our body, and allow that to transform all areas of our life. That's how important I think our physical health is. I also want to say before we jump into that everyone's body is different. Everyone's health is different. So what works for me might not work exactly for you. So just know that you don't have to take everything I say and say, oh, this is going to work exactly for me. Everyone has different things that work for them. So it's good to take in the knowledge and then find what works for you specifically. So the first thing that I have been doing for years that I know has helped maintain my weight and and allowed me to create a life of balance where I'm not going on extreme diets. I'm still enjoying foods that I love. And that's intermittent fasting. Okay? So I try to live a lifestyle of intermittent fasting, and that is different for men and women. Men can fast the same every day, but women, we have to fast differently according to the days of our menstrual cycle. If you still have a menstrual cycle, we need to pay attention to that cycle because, for example, we should not be fasting the week before our period. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. That's been really eye-opening to me the last year, and I've been following Dr. Mindy Peltz, who is the expert on this topic. I read Fast Like a Girl, great book if you want to learn more about fasting, and she has a cookbook that's called Eat Like a Girl, and that is really good as well, and she talks all about the fasting lifestyle. But I personally love intermittent fasting because there are so many benefits to fasting, and I'm just going to go through some of them. So fasting periods helps lower insulin levels, which promotes fat burning. So when you're in your fasted state, so say you're fasting from 13 to 15 hours, or, in that state, your body is actually burning fat. It's giving your body the opportunity to burn fat. And during fasting, the body initiates cellular repair processes like autophagy, where cells remove damaged components. So this also may contribute to longevity and reduce risk of chronic diseases. So when you're in a fasted state, it not only is burning fat, but your body is also healing itself in the fasted state. And I've noticed that fasting helps decrease brain fog. It helps me feel more connected to my body, more alive. It makes me feel like I have more energy, and I do have more energy. It's not just a feeling, but there are a lot of different benefits to fasting. And also it naturally reduces calorie intake, because you're not eating as much, you're eating within a window. It reduces inflammation. So there are so many benefits to fasting. But what I like about fasting is when you're eating within your window, you don't have to be as strict with what you're eating. Okay, so I still believe in eating as much like healthy foods as possible, whole foods, non-processed foods. But when you're eating within a certain window, you don't have to be so strict. You're not on like this strict diet. It's more just about staying within that window. This is what I do. I'll just give you an example. So when on days that I can fast that aren't the week before my period, I try most of the time, and everything I do is, hey, 80% of the time I want to do this. Okay. And the other 20%, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to splurge. I'm going to have balance. Okay. Because we want this to last for the long term. Right. So, I most of the time I like to stop eating like right after dinner. I'll have dessert or whatever, and then a little chocolate to finish off my dinner. And then I like to stop eating by about 7 o'clock. And sometimes I can't do that. Sometimes it has to be 8 if I get home from work late, if I work out, if whatever's going on in my life. But I try to get done eating around like 7 or 8. And then I won't eat again until the next day, maybe around 11 or noon or 1, depending on how I'm feeling. But that would be an example of intermittent fasting. So then I am eating between maybe noon and 7 o'clock at night, or noon and 8 o'clock. Like there, you have that eating window. Okay. So fasting, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it has been life-changing for me. It has been sustainable for me. And listen, I will be transparent that I don't do it every single day, but I try to as much as I can during the week. And then on weekends, I will, be a little more flexible. Or sometimes I feel led to do a longer fast on like a Saturday if I don't have much going on, but fasting has so many great benefits. And one of them, the best thing to me is that weight management. But with that, you get improvements to your brain health, to your spiritual health, to your mental health, and you just feel it all around. So I am a big promoter of intermittent fasting, and I highly recommend that. The next thing that I have incorporated over the last few years is really paying close attention to my eating order. Okay, so let me explain this. So I used to wake up in the morning, drink a cup of coffee that was filled with French vanilla creamer or whatever mocha latte creamer there was. And it was literally like drinking a cup of sugar every morning when I woke up. Okay. And what I didn't realize is that was immediately spiking my blood sugar. And that was immediately causing me to feel like I was having a sugar crash right in the morning. And this was impacting my overall weight as well. And I used to eat like oatmeal with fruit right in the morning, or I would do like a shake first thing in the morning with a bunch of, fruit is natural sugar, but then you also have your protein powder, which has sugar, and that even natural sugars are spiking your blood sugar. Okay. So, and there was times where I was eating cereal, constantly. That was like my go-to every morning. Okay. And it's not even that my weight was like out of control then or bad. It was just my gut. I had all kinds of gut issues. Like I could feel it. Okay. And so the worst thing that we could be doing with our first meal is starting out our meals with sugar. Okay. Even if it's natural sugar, even if it's fruit, it's not the best thing to start out or breaking your fast with. So let me explain. So I have been really conscious the past year about, okay, my first meal of the day, and every meal, I want to make sure it has proteins. I want to make sure that there is a lot of vegetables, green vegetables. And then when I eat my bread or flour, even like a sourdough bread or when I eat even fruit, I will eat the veggies first, the protein first, and then I will eat the fruit after, or I will eat the sugar dessert after. I will eat the bread last, because that helps regulate your blood sugar, which helps your overall metabolism. It helps with how you feel. It helps with brain fog. It helps with weight management in general. And so another thing, as far as like eating order and like how you're eating your food, is when we are eating, say, bread or carbs or fruit where we know that there's natural sugars in it, when we pair it with a healthy fat, that also is reducing the blood sugar spike. So for example, when I have my sourdough toast, which I love more than anything in the world, and I love my sourdough, I will make sure to eat it with grass-fed butter, which grass-fed butter is so incredible. But butter is back, guys. So grass-fed butter, that good, real, whole butter, it helps to reduce the blood sugar spike. So it's actually helping with that weight management and helping you feel your best. So another thing too with fruit, what I've tried doing over time is eating it with Greek yogurt. So again, I'm not really changing so much what I'm eating or eliminating or depriving myself of good food. I'm just changing the order in which I'm eating the food, and I'm pairing my food more intentionally to reduce the blood sugar spike. So this has been honestly so interesting, because about a year and a half ago, I actually weighed probably 10 or 15 pounds more than I do today, which I honestly was not even trying to lose weight then. But when my mom started really getting into eating order and how we should be pairing our food, so I just kind of started following suit because she started talking to me about it. And I cut out the sugar in my coffee in the morning. I started drinking black coffee. I started started breaking my fast with veggies, protein, and then I would eat my toast last or my fruit last, or if I wanted a little sweet treat, I would eat that after my meals, especially at dinner. I'm the girly that loves to have her dinner, and then after I like a little sweet treat. So that is the key, is eating your sweet treat right after dinner, eating your sweet treat right after your meals, because that will help reduce the blood sugar, rather than if you are like the alternative would be eating ice cream at like a random time of the day, and that's going to cause a big blood sugar spike. So anyway, so my mom started getting really into food order and how we're pairing our food, so I followed suit. And I swear I lost probably about 10 pounds since I started doing that. And I was not even trying to lose weight. I just wanted to feel my best. I'm always looking for ways to improve my health. And I believe that this was one of the main reasons that why I have seen myself lose about 10 to 15 pounds since I started that. So the third best practice for sustainable weight management and overall wellness is to not drink your calories. So we are living in an age where we are just drinking loads of sugar in our drinks, in our juices, in our pop, in our coffee. And there is just so many different ways to take in, even in the smoothies, like at Tropical Smoothie or at Smoothie King. You see all these smoothie places, and they're putting sugar in the smoothies that already have natural sugars in them, in the protein powders. I mean, we are living in a world where people are just drinking their calories in a very unhealthy way. Okay, so my mom really drilled this into me at a young age to not drink my calories and to be aware of how much sugar there is in pop, aware of how much sugar there is in juice, aware of all the sugar in these drinks. And it kind of reminds me of in college when I drank alcohol a lot. I had a really hard time maintaining my weight in college. I definitely gained the freshman 15 or 20. And by the end of the year, I just felt like really bad about myself, because when you're drinking so much, you're also eating unhealthy, right? So I was drinking a lot, partying. And with that I was also eating unhealthy. But after college, I really have not been a drinker. Like for the last 10 years, I will drink on occasion. I like to have wine or the occasional drink or mixed drink to enjoy myself, but I do not drink on a regular basis anymore. And that's really because it, one, helps with my mental health, and two, my physical health. And I know for a fact that because I don't drink like I used to in college on a regular basis, I've been able to maintain my weight for the last 10 years because I do not drink my calories. So I really enjoy really good food, and I know I can because I'm not taking in all of these calories, all of this sugar through my drinks. So I choose to stick with drinking water constantly. And I have black coffee in the morning. I have the occasional afternoon latte. I like to do sugar-free, a little pump of sugar-free vanilla if I get it from like a coffee shop. And I'll do some creamer in there. But at home, I'll do like black coffee with stevia in it in the afternoon. After my fast is already broken, I'll put some stevia in my coffee. But I, again, really try to stay away from the sugary coffees. Although I would love to indulge in some sugary coffees. But on occasion, I will get a nice, a more dessert coffee. But then also if I need some like flavor or carbonation, especially in the summer when it's warm out, I'll do sparkling water with the natural flavors in it, 0 sugar. So I'm just really aware of not drinking my calories, drinking sugar. And guys, this has proven effective for the last 10 years. This has made an impact on helping me maintain a healthy weight and a weight that I am comfortable in my own skin. But also this helps with our skin, our anxiety. It helps with depression. It helps with overall happiness. and just watching how much sugar are we taking in. And this just has so many health benefits and really does impact all areas of our life. And honestly, when we're not drinking these dessert drinks on a regular basis, it makes them so much more enjoyable when we do have a pop on occasion, when we do have a mixed drink on occasion, when we do have a glass of wine here and there. Like, it makes it so much more enjoyable, right? When we're not doing it on a regular basis. So yes, I have personally loved to, again, with my rule, it's stick to the no sugar, healthier drinks, not drinking your calories most of the time, and then on occasion, treat yourself with a dessert drink. And the last thing that has helped me maintain my weight over the years, and I believe will help you as well, is lifting weights. Okay? Lifting weights. I just heard someone say this again the other day, that they don't want to lift weights. I heard a woman saying this. I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get bulky. So many women say this all the time. And this is such a myth. It is so untrue. You are not going to get bulky. You would have to be like a weightlifter professional, or you would need to be lifting a lot of weights on the daily, eating a ton of protein on the daily to bulk up. I mean, that would take a lot of effort. And it's such a lie, because again, like, props to my mom. Whenever I do health episodes, I'm like, props to my mom, because she really taught me all this stuff. But weightlifting, it thins you out. It tones you. And my mom and I have naturally like round faces, but we weightlift, so it like thins out. We know when we're not weightlifting because our faces kind of like plump up. But weightlifting helps to thin you out, and it helps to tone you. And so there's so many benefits to weightlifting, especially as we get older. So weightlifting, it increases metabolism. It helps regulate blood sugar. And the interesting thing about weightlifting is you continue burning calories after your workout. So once you're done with your workout, you'll be chilling, you'll be out with your friends, you'll be doing whatever, and you will still be burning fat after your workout, which is a really cool benefit to weightlifting that not a lot of people know. It also builds bone density. So that's really important as we get older, because as we get older, our bone density decreases. It improves brain health. It boosts mood. It increases confidence. So many benefits to weightlifting. And again, weightlifting is also a practice for a sustainable, healthy lifestyle that will help you maintain your weight over time. I just want to end with a quote that says, "Health is not about the weight you lose, but about the life you gain." And that's by Dr. Josh Axe. And I love that, because when a lot of times we focus so much on our weight and our looks, and it's really about how we feel. It's really about living life to its fullest. It's really about creating a life that we truly love, because again, our physical health, our body, it impacts every area of our life, because it impacts the relationship we have with ourselves. It impacts the relationship we have with other people. It impacts how we feel. It impacts how we walk through life. So we gain so much when we create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. And again, the way forward with creating a healthy lifestyle and working towards that body that you feel at home in, that you feel at peace in, is really those daily habits that add up over time, that help to create that healthy lifestyle and to create a life you truly love. So I really hope that this episode encouraged you. I hope that you could take some of these best practices and apply them into your life. And please DM me. Please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know if some of these things are working or not working, or if you have any questions about any of these practices, definitely DM me. I am here for you, and I love to hear from you guys, okay? All right, so Before we go, I just want to remind you, if you don't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. And just a reminder, we are on YouTube. You can watch every episode there. The links are below, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you listen on Apple or Spotify, if you could rate the show, if you could write a review, that would mean so much to me. And if this episode helped you, encouraged you, please make sure to share with a friend or someone you know this would also encourage as well. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Have a good day.